According to Kevin Weeks of ESPN, it sounds like the Leafs and Joseph Woll closing in on a 3-year contract extension worth around 3.5 to 4 million sheets per season, Rosie.
Yeah, makes sense. I got to be honest. I didn't really see this on the radar. I kind of just knew he was there and just didn't qualify, and it's kind of easy, and he wasn't going anywhere. I didn't really think about it too much. Then it comes up. It's like, oh yeah, 3.5, 4 mil, like 4 mil. It's probably just what he's worth. He doesn't have a lot of experience. Like, how many games has he played in the NHL?
39.
39 games in the NHL. So not a big, basket of experience for $4 million. But it's just what the market's at. I think it's where it's at. He is a good goalie. He's done everything that's been asked. He's bailed the Leafs out certain times. He's had a lot put on his shoulders and stood up and stood tall. Obviously, you'll touch on, injuries have been somewhat of an issue so far. Doesn't mean that that's going to continue, but it's something that has happened. So you definitely want to be aware of it. But there's not a lot you can do about it. You're not unloading the guy because he got a high ankle sprain last year. You're just going to hope that's all you can do, that he doesn't become injured in the future. You're going to stay on top of it. You're going to do all of your prevention type of methods and get all the right people on this guy's body to make sure that he's in the best, position he can physically, which those guys do in that league these days anyways. And I think it's solid. It's good. I'm excited for him to maybe take a step and be like, I'm like the number one guy. And I don't know if they're going to go get a big boy or not, but I want him to take a step and say, I am the future of the Leafs. And no matter what's going on around me, I'm looking for big things out of him.
So naturally, there's a lot of ifs when it comes to Joseph Woll, but nobody's ever questioned if this guy's a good goalie. It's more, can he stay healthy? And I think when you look at this contract, it's paying him to be a guy who's going to be healthy, because let's not forget, he's still got 1 year left at 766 before he was to become an RFA. And then he gets 3 years tacked on there. Not official just yet as we have this conversation, but obviously headed in that direction. I think ultimately it could end up being a steal. And the big if he can stay healthy. But I think he has proven, I know the sample size is relatively small and short, 39 games. He has proven that when he's on top of his game, he is a really, really sound, good goalie who has the potential to be a star goalie in this league. So I think that's the expectation from the contract, is like, maybe you strike gold. And if you kick this can down the road and wait a year, maybe he's a guy who plays like a $5 million, $6 million guy. So it's like a bit of an investment, a bit of a projection type deal, but I actually don't mind it. And the other thing I should keep in mind too, if we've learned anything from the last couple of weeks, Rosie, there's not much out there when it comes to bona fide studs. Like, I don't know if you saw over the weekend, the narrative's already changing where they're going to identify Laurent Brossoit or Anthony Stolarz, who's the backup to the Panthers right now, to be a guy they play in a tandem with Joseph Woll. You almost have to build homegrown talent. And I think for the first time in a while, the Leafs have a guy they've drafted. Now it's time to believe in the guy. So I don't have as much of an issue as some people, but I understand there's an element of risk because he can't stay healthy.
I guess, but I mean, who gave out a contract with the assumption that the guy's going to be injured? There's no reason to think that. I think that, to talk about a steal at $4 million potentially, yeah. I mean, if he stands up and blows the doors off, but say he's at 4 and like, what's like Markstrom and Ullmark and these guys that they're like 5'6", so it's not
6. Yeah.
It's not like you're stealing him. He's got to be a big time goalie for you at $4 million. But I've always thought goaltenders are fairly cheap considering how valuable they are and how much of a difference they make, whether they're very good or very bad. It's season changing stuff with that position. But I agree, he has shown, like, when he's in the net, he is poised, he is very calm, he is very square. He's not scared of the big moment. He doesn't seem to get worked up. He doesn't seem to get rattled. He seems like he's one of those guys that just has a very simplistic look at everything, with just calm and poise, and doesn't really overthink things, doesn't get, real anxiety going everywhere. You can just kind of feel that in the way he conducts himself, his body language, his facial expression, his interviews, how he talks, how he speaks, talking to people that know him intimately. And everyone just sings praises for this guy. And when you look at him play when he's healthy, he just seems very calm, very poised, very strong in net. And it's like, man, this guy could really do some damage if he can just, develop and become that guy and get, a full season or two under his belt.
Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long form interviews, we got clips, we got epic rants by Jay Rosehill. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.